Welcome to the family, son.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Recently, I've taken on the Herculean task of narrating every single manuscript page from Alan Wake 1, and it turns out this was a much bigger task than I originally thought, so I thought I'd put out a little video about my most anticipated game of the year, and it's not even a horror game, it's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Right, let's get straight into what I'm excited for. The first thing is just the fact that this game is actually open world. I absolutely loved Remake, but it was very linear, so I'm very much excited for having a bit more freedom of how and where I explore, and perhaps we'll even get some genuine secrets hidden around the map. Next on the list is the summons. These were my favourite thing when I originally played this game as a teenager in 1997. Yes, I am that old. Now, we've already seen a fair few of these in the trailers. We know that Ramuh and Leviathan are coming back. We've seen Odin, Titan, Phoenix and Kajata. But what I'm interested in is how we get them. Are they all going to be linked to Chadley again? Or are we going to be able to find these in the wild, naturally occurring summon materia? And normally you don't get Alexander until you get to the Great Glacier, and we know the game isn't going that far. So that leads me on to the next thing I'm really excited for, how the story deviates from the original game. At first I was really unsure about them changing the story at all, but it works so well in Remake that I am genuinely excited to see what's different. We already know that Zack's still alive, maybe in a different timeline, that's unsure at the moment, but with something so massive as that being different, what else could have changed? And I don't really want to spoil the story if you haven't played the original game, but could that scene in the Forgotten Capital turn out differently? We'll just have to wait, but it's really exciting thinking about it. Next up on the list is having new playable characters in the form of Red 13 and Cait Sith. Or I suppose you could call him Ketchy if you wanted to be technically right about it. But I absolutely don't care about that, so Cait Sith it is. And of course we will be introduced to Cid and Vincent, and fortunately they won't be playable. Hopefully they'll still join the party and be AI controlled like Red 13 was in Remake. And of course with these new characters come synergy attacks. There's not a lot to say about them apart from they look fantastic and they really give me heavy Chrono Trigger vibes, which is never going to be a bad thing. We've also got confirmation we'll be playing as Sephiroth during the Nibelheim section. Again, I don't want to spoil the story, but this is my favourite part of the original version of Final Fantasy VII. Just that bit when he looks back at you through the fire. Absolutely epic. Next up on the list, it's the Gold Saucer. Now, I spent so long here in the original back in 97, and I'm really happy to see that they've quite faithfully recreated the mini-games, and that the Chocobo racing looks fantastic now. But what I'm really looking forward to is Battle Square. It took me ages to grind out the points to get Omnislash for Cloud, but I loved it. And I hope it operates basically the same way, where you can lose your materia, or your accessories can break, or your weapon can break. It'd be really fun to be able to challenge yourself in that old school kind of way. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the last thing that I'm super excited for, and it's a real basic one again. It's riding a Chocobo. It looks so much fun, and before anyone corrects me down in the comments, I know it's pronounced Chocobo, but I've always called them Chocobos and I really can't get out of the habit. Okay, so that's it for my list, but before you go, I think I'm going to give you a little teaser of what I've been working on with the Departure manuscript. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment. I love you all, and I'll see you on the next video.
This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge, it had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down into the sewers, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it. I can see them now, my wife and baby. Honey, I'm home.